Dr. Vuong, we all have learned on, teeth brushing and flossing and stuff like that, and yet, that there's still some questions out there, and especially in these days where we have electro brushes. Are they really that much better? Normal brushes, soft brushes, hard brushes, up and down, sideways, circular. I mean, there's actually, quite a bit of different opinions out there, and maybe they're all just fine. Why don't you tell us?
Well, I endorse the brushing that says that the bristles of the toothbrush should be angled 45 degrees into the gum line, and we go in circles. And we do a quadrant at a time, and keep in mind that every tooth has 5 surfaces, really. The cheek side, the tongue side, the top, and in between. So brushing can get 3 of the surfaces, flossing gets the other 2 surfaces. Okay.
So flossing is obviously important. Any recommendation on toothbrushes in terms of hardness and or in terms of toothpaste? Again, there's like all this, from flavors, which is fine, but like all kinds of injected with fluoride and this and that and that. Any comment on that?
Yeah. With the toothbrush, I recommend a soft bristled toothbrush, not a hard one. A soft one is all you need to gently clean the teeth and the gums, and also prevents gum recession. If you're using one that's too hard, you can abrade the teeth surface, and you can definitely cause the gums to recede. So definitely use a soft bristled toothbrush. As far as toothpaste is concerned, any toothpaste that has fluoride is effective. There's any of them will work as long as it has some fluoride.
Got it. Now, is there anything people do or anything people don't do, a mistake they make when it comes to flossing?
Yeah, they don't floss.
Oh my God. That almost sounds to me like, the mistake I made in studying. It was like, yeah, you didn't study, Helmut. I got it. All right. So once you do floss, you kind of like move this thing around. There's not much you can do wrong. Is that what you're saying?
No. What you want to do is you want to make a U shape with the floss, so that when you snap the floss through the teeth, you're cleaning one side of the tooth with one U shape or C shape, and then you kind of flip the U shape over the other side, and you're cleaning the other side of the tooth, the adjacent tooth.
Mm-hmm. What about massaging? What about massaging the gums with the floss? Is because I do that. I don't know if it's right or good, but I kind of move it up there a little bit.
That you're doing it absolutely correctly. You do want to bring the floss down to the gums, as close to the even below the gum line, as much as possible. Just pulling up and down and massaging the gums on both sides, or on both sides of the adjacent teeth, and just trying to clean off the plaque and any food that may be stuck around that area. A lot of people, if they're not really being meticulous, they're just simply snapping the floss through between the teeth and snapping it right out. They're not really taking the time to clean the teeth, and that's definitely not as effective as if you took the time and massaged the gums and cleaned off all the plaque around it.
Got it. Okay.
So, make a good point.
And what about mouth rinses? Are they any good? Are there any ones which are better? What's the effect of them, if any?
Mouth rinses, what they do is they reduce the bacterial levels in our mouths. So there's a lot of good mouth rinses. The most effective one, according to research, is Listerine. But for people with dry mouths, I don't recommend Listerine. I recommend something like Biotene, a mouthwash that doesn't have alcohol in it.
Got it. All right. Now, Dr. Vuong, about 1995-6, I lived for a couple of years in India, in Bombay, and just about everybody there was using a tongue scraper. And that's when I actually started using one. Now, in the meantime, I don't use a tongue scraper anymore. I kind of, the couple I had from there, I lost them, and I use my toothbrush. I do the palate, and I scrub the tongue. Now, I have to admit that every morning I don't, but it feels a little bit like gagging. That stuff is thick in the back there, which I didn't have with the tongue cleaner. Is that something, cleaning the tongue, is that something we should do? And is a tongue scraper better than a brush?
No, not necessarily. A toothbrush is just as good as a tongue scraper. A tongue scraper might just be a little quicker because it's a little more broad, and you can maybe get the whole tongue in one or two scrapings instead of using the toothbrush. But the toothbrush is just as effective. It might just take a little bit longer time. But that's definitely a good habit to get into, is when you're brushing your teeth. Not only are you brushing your teeth, you're brushing your gums and your tongue. The tongue's oftentimes loaded with bacteria, and it's a good idea to clean it off, to reduce bacterial level and also give you good breath.
Well, I figured if a society which has been around, Indian people have been around for a long time, I figured if they do something, it couldn't be that far off, so I kind of adapted it. And it obviously has a certain feel of freshness in it after done. Well, all right. Thank you very much, Dr. Vuong. Bye-bye.
Thank you.